Okay, so after doing behind the scenes looks at Vermaelen, Walcott, and Chesney, a few people asked me about Van Persie. What I'd heard at the time, I had to double check, and it's been confirmed by someone else within the club. For me, this is the most shocking one yet, and it's not a good listen for Arsenal fans, to be honest. So Van Persie met with Wenger, and Van Persie released a statement saying that the club didn't match his ambition. He never actually said, "I don't like Arsenal." He never said he hates the club. He said we just didn't match his ambition, and we was maybe proved right because he moved and won the title, whereas we got third or fourth that year. But there's a lot more that went on, a hell of a lot more. So Arsenal, knowing he was going and knew we'd get about 25 million, we knew what offers were on the table and what we was likely to accept. This was still in the time when we was refinancing or paying off the finance on the stadium and didn't have much money. We had a transfer budget that season of around £15 million, give or take. So before Van Persie went, we signed Podolski, Cazorla and Giroud. Van Persie saw that and was happy to stay, but wouldn't sign a new contract. He thought that was matching his ambition. He thought with him in the side and those players, we was actually going for it and could actually do something. Wenger ruled it out immediately. He felt Van Persie had shown some form of disloyalty in coming out and making the statement. He also couldn't afford to let him go on the free. I know we're looking at Sanchez, Ozil and Oxlade-Chamberlain potentially going on a free next summer, but during that time the club finances did not allow for losing out on £25 million. So Van Persie actually asked the club, or told the club, "I will stay. I have no problem with being here. I'm happy to stay for another year," after we'd made the signings. At this time he hadn't yet agreed personal terms with Man United. I think Arsenal had said to United, "We're going to accept the offer, but give us X amount of time to get the replacements in first." Obviously for his agent he had an idea of what he was going to get from United, but he hadn't personally spoken to United. At the point where he said he'd be willing to stay, his agent had received an offer from Man United, so he knew exactly what he'd be on a week and whatnot, and it was better than what he was on at Arsenal. But he hadn't actually spoke to them, and he was more than happy to stay because he saw that as matching his ambition with them three players. But Wenger, maybe not so much Wenger, but the board or both of them combined, completely ruled it out. So yeah, we could have actually kept Van Persie for another year, potentially gone on to win things, and he would have signed a new contract. As it was, we let him go. We didn't win anything. Man United won the league. So it's just that one's just obviously a little quick story, but it shows that how Arsenal were very different then from what we are now, because then 25 million we couldn't afford to lose out on, and our total transfer budget for that summer was around 15 million, because we spent about 40 but obviously got 25 back for Van Persie. Whereas this summer we're looking at potentially letting 50 million Sanchez go. Ozil, what would he get? At least 30. They're talking about 30 to 35 for Oxlade-Chamberlain. And it seems like on at least two of them, Wenger's going to be stubborn and potentially lose them on the free. Whereas then, 25 million he couldn't afford to keep. And with Van Persie on that side, I think we would have ran the league quite close. United certainly wouldn't have won it that year. So it probably would have left it between us and City. But those were the finances at the time. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. If I think of anything more from any other players, I'll post them in the next few days. I've got nothing off the top of my head at the moment. Let me know your thoughts and what you would have done. Would you have kept Van Persie? Bearing in mind the financial situation that the club was in. Leave a comment, let me know. I'll try to get back to you. Thank you.